Welcome to Everything Explained, the podcast that dives deep into the world's most pressing questions. Today, we're tackling a big one: why is France experiencing such a significant crisis? It's not a simple answer. France faces a confluence of interconnected challenges. Think of it like a Jenga tower. Removing several blocks at once causes a collapse. One significant block is the pension reform. The system faces a demographic time bomb. People are living longer, and the number of workers isn't keeping pace with retirees. This imbalance creates a growing deficit, threatening the long-term sustainability of the system. The government's proposed reform, raising the retirement age from 62 to 64, aimed to address this deficit and ensure the system's future viability. However, this reform sparked widespread protests and strikes, highlighting the deep-seated anxieties and frustrations within French society. The argument isn't simply about the retirement age itself, it's about perceived fairness and the erosion of social safety nets. Many feel the burden of reform falls disproportionately on lower-income workers and those in physically demanding jobs, who may not be able to work until 64. The intensity of the protests also reflects a broader sense of disillusionment with the political establishment and a feeling that the government isn't listening to the concerns of ordinary citizens. Another major block is the cost of living crisis. Inflation is hitting France hard, squeezing household budgets, particularly for lower-income families. Rising energy prices, driven in part by the war in Ukraine, are a significant contributor. Food prices have also increased dramatically, impacting everyone, but especially those already struggling to make ends meet. This cost of living crisis exacerbates the anxieties surrounding pension reform, as people worry about their ability to maintain a decent standard of living both during their working years and in retirement. The cumulative effect of rising prices on essential goods and services creates a sense of economic insecurity and fuels social unrest. The government's attempts to mitigate the impact of inflation, such as energy subsidies, have been criticized for being insufficient and poorly targeted. The war in Ukraine adds another layer of complexity, extending far beyond rising energy prices. The influx of Ukrainian refugees, while a humanitarian imperative, places additional strain on public services and resources. France, like many European nations, is grappling with the challenge of integrating refugees while simultaneously addressing its own domestic challenges. The war also contributes to a sense of global instability and uncertainty, further impacting economic confidence and contributing to the overall feeling of crisis. Furthermore, the war has highlighted France's dependence on imported energy and the vulnerability of its economy to geopolitical shocks. Deep-seated political divisions make finding common ground difficult, creating gridlock and hindering effective policymaking. The current political climate is characterized by strong ideological divides, making compromise and consensus building exceptionally challenging. This polarization prevents the government from implementing effective solutions to the multifaceted crisis, further fueling public frustration and deepening the sense of instability. The lack of trust in political institutions and the perceived disconnect between the government and the people contribute to the ongoing social unrest. The combination of rising energy costs, inflation, and pension protests creates a perfect storm for small businesses, threatening the economy. Strikes disrupt transportation, schools, and other essential services, fueling public anger and further damaging the economy. The cumulative effect of these interconnected challenges creates widespread unease and instability, making it difficult to predict the future trajectory of France. Understanding this interconnectedness is key to comprehending the depth and complexity of the crisis facing France. It's not simply a matter of addressing each issue in isolation. A holistic approach that acknowledges the intricate web of cause and effect is crucial for finding sustainable solutions. To unpack this further, let's explore the background, implications, and the broader context so you can see how these pieces fit together. We can deepen our understanding by considering practical examples, typical use cases, and the variety of perspectives that shape this topic. Another useful angle is to compare related concepts and highlight the subtle differences that matter in practice. It's also helpful to reflect on the historical development and the main turning points that have influenced the current state of affairs. Finally, we can summarize key takeaways and practical lessons you can apply or watch for going forward. To unpack this further, let's explore the background, implications, and the broader context so you can see how these pieces fit together. We can deepen our understanding by considering practical examples, typical use cases, and the variety of perspectives that shape this topic. Another useful angle is to compare related concepts and highlight the subtle differences that matter in practice. It's also helpful to reflect on the historical development and the main turning points that have influenced the current state of affairs. Finally, we can summarize key takeaways and practical lessons you can apply or watch for going forward.